Thank you so much for listening to the Cooligans. In the first segment, we talk about a lot of stuff that's happening in MLS. We talk about teams that lost 4-0. We try not to talk about it. We also talk about teams that are playing really, really well. Plus, we say goodbye to Ariel Castillo, and also we say hello to Ariel Castillo.
Exactly.
That and more in the first segment.
Yeah, because she's still alive, and
Still alive.
she's totally fine.
Doing great.
And in the second segment, we go over all the games, even the ones we do not want to. There was a massacre in Harrison, New Jersey, but we're going to get through it. All this and more today on the Cooligans!
Hey, this is Alexi Lawless. There is nobody in U.S. soccer that is more important than the Cooligans.
Yeah, baby!
Yo, what is up, everybody?
Come on!
Welcome to the show.
Yeah. That is exactly what we're doing right now.
That's right. It's a soccer show. It's a comedy show. It's Cooligans.
It's a soccer comedy show.
Welcome to the show, buddy. Alexis, I know that you're not in the best of health at the moment.
Yeah, I'm in pain. I hurt my ankle.
Emotionally?
Yeah, actually more. I hurt my heel. It's in pain. There's something throbbing out of the back of it.
But you can't explain exactly how it happened.
Well, because normally when people have this injury, it's because of excessive physical activity. And mine is just because living life. I just injured myself for no real reason.
Okay.
I think it was just a prolonged of not taking care of it over a week.
Yes, it is.
And now my body's like, shut it down. And I'm like still walking on it because I don't care, baby.
I mean, it's worse than a non-contact injury.
Yeah, you know, like when a player is running and then out of nowhere they just grab their leg and fall. My body did that, but I was just getting off the couch. I don't know exactly what caused the injury, but something caused it.
Yeah, but you will be out 4 to 6 weeks. I was gonna be sidelined. Because of it.
The physical therapy is difficult. Apparently, I have to go to a bakery every day. So you know.
I mean, that's actually a very poor diagnosis for any doctor to be like, get up and move around to the bakery. Maybe send somebody to the bakery.
Listen, they know I'm not going to move around on my own. They have to get me. They have to inspire me to go to the bakery.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to the Cooligans podcast. My name is Christian Polanco.
That's right. My name is Alexis Guerreros.
And we are your two favorite stand-up comedians that host a comedic soccer podcast. This is not only the funniest soccer podcast, it is also
the goddamn gulliest soccer podcast.
That's right. They're learning. They're going to learn real fast.
Oh, you're going to get learned. A lot of people are tagging us and stuff and saying this is the gulliest whatever.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's a good feeling. It's a good sign. We're like the gully judges.
Yeah. We are Gully Fest. You send us...
Yes, yeah, and we give it like the Caesar, the thumbs up or thumbs down.
And the gully stamp of approval. Somebody, I was at Scars last night real quick. I was dropping off a shirt for him, and he was like, oh, talk about this on your podcast. And he showed me a video of, I think, 2 dudes arguing at a McDonald's, and one of them literally picks the other one up. Just physically picks him up. And the way you would like a backpack that didn't have anything valuable in it, he threw him over the counter. But like not like hit the counter and the guy fell. He physically placed him far away behind the counter. The kid got up, runs to the french fries, starts throwing french fries, yelling, hold me back. I mean, it was just the weirdest video ever, but the kid physically just got picked up and thrown.
Was this at a New York McDonald's?
No, I don't think so. This might have been in the South.
Ooh, surprising.
If it was a New York McDonald's, we all know it was the one on West Third.
Western.
That is
if
the
anybody
gulliest
if anybody's
McDonald's.
out here visiting New York, you got to go to Statue of Liberty, Empire State Building, you got to hit all the touristy spots. But really, the crown jewel of New York City is the West 3rd Street McDonald's.
It is. It is the HQ for World Star Hip Hop, and I'm borrowing a joke from Colin Quinn there.
Yes, they are putting their offices right in that building.
They should have a merch station at that McDonald's.
Look,
that is where all the McDonald's videos come from. All of them.
Yes, whenever, like the whole human resources guidelines were based on this McDonald's.
This is their test kitchen for what not to do customer service wise.
You gotta go to this place because it's absolutely insane. And
if you go there during the day, I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah.
You've messed up.
You
don't go there during the day.
It's like going to like a speakeasy and not knowing that there's like a secret door to go into to like a...
You ate at the restaurant. You know, like there's a restaurant here called Beauty in Essex. It's behind a pawn shop.
Yes, that's right.
That's like you just going to that pawn shop when you're hungry and just buying a guitar. Like, you get what I'm saying? You messed up. You have to go to the McDonald's on West 3rd Street.
No earlier than about 3 a.m.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably start to see some action at like 1 a.m. It starts to get a little bit, but 3 a.m., 4:30 in the morning, my guy, it is.
Oh man,
it's too late. It's too gully. It's too gully.
It's too gully. Okay, good. Well, look, I'm glad we can start this show off with some levity because
a little gully lesson.
A little gully lesson, Gully 101, because we did have a rough weekend. And we're gonna
want to talk about.
And we're gonna get into it. I mean, some New Yorkers had a rough weekend. Some New Jersey residents had a great time,
and a few people from Brooklyn who keep yelling at us.
So,
by the way, one lady has been following us on Twitter from the beginning.
Yeah.
Retweeting everything we put out, liking a bunch of stuff, commenting.
Mm-hmm.
This weekend, she just found out that we weren't neutral.
Oh, well, that's Ainsley.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's day one. Yeah, Red Bull fan. She's a hardcore Red Bull fan.
Apparently not that good of a listener or reader, though.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't clear on online that we were... I guess
we get tagged on everything NYCFC does. All of our fans are like, NYCFC lost, you lost.
Everybody's not on our timeline.
People are like, hey, at Soccer Cooligans, why didn't you score against the Red Bulls? How does she not know?
Maybe she missed it. I don't know. I don't know what the algorithm is up. I don't know what @Jack is doing on Twitter. But look, yeah. So we're gonna talk about the game in a little bit.
We don't want to.
We don't want to.
And we know that there's Red Bull fans listening.
You know what? I disagree with you. I do want to. I really want to get down to it.
Well, let's find out why. Why?
So we'll get to. But we have to start. Let's mention our sponsor today. We have a couple sponsors today that we're excited about. SeatGeek again is back. They can't leave us, man. Which is just like that kind of. That kind of love, it's just like it's just inseparable.
You can't be away from us.
So you guys know SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of Major League Soccer, but it's not just soccer games that you can go to.
No, you can go to anything. Concerts,
comedy shows.
The funny thing is, also, let's say you were a girl and you went to dinner and she's like, "What else you had planned?" And you're like, "Oh, nothing."
Yeah, and then she goes, "I didn't even know. I thought you were neutral."
Yeah. Have you been here this whole day? You're wearing a jersey, but let's say you didn't have anything else planned. Buddy, go to the bathroom, pull the phone out of your pocket, and it searches where you are. You quickly buy tickets, and it's going to be the cheapest price. And then you can go run to that event and be like, "Yo, I already had these tickets."
Look at that. You want to look smooth as hell.
Smooth, too smooth.
So
they're gonna be like, "Are you Dominican right now?"
This is pretty fascinating.
It's a little too smooth.
So make sure you use the promo code Cooligans. You open the SeatGeek app, download the app. It's on iTunes. It's on Google. Get the app. It's too simple. And use the promo code Cooligans for $20 off your first order. Get on there. It's so simple. Just if you're gonna be supporting SeatGeek, you're gonna be supporting us. You're gonna be supporting the date that you are just on.
Yeah, you're gonna be supporting your chance of being able to do what DJ Khaled won't.
Another one. Another SeatGeek sponsor.
There's a major key to how to use SeatGeek.
So make sure you do that. All right. So look, in the second segment, we're gonna go into all the games in detail. Let's just because a lot of listeners are in New York, and that's just we
got fans of NYCFC that listen. And look, we were there with a bunch of them. We went to the game.
We went to the game.
We should not have gone to the game. We went to the game.
It's my second time going to Red Bull Arena and watching Rebels defeat the team 4-0.
That's right, because you were there for Portland, right?
Portland RBA.
So we found the reason. It's not bad management. It's not terrible backheels.
You come in.
Maybe that's why my heel hurts.
Because of all the back heels. Maybe that's what it was.
My body. It's sympathy pain.
It affected you. We were just on, and you can go listen to it now. We were on Soccer City with Glenn Crooks.
Yeah. And I thought it was Soccer in the City.
No, Soccer City. I think
now it's just Soccer City. They switched it up. Okay.
So we were on the show on New York radio, which was an honor.
I mean, this is now what? The third time?
Second New York radio.
Second time.
Because we were on Atlanta radio on 929 The Game.
Yeah, I mean, that's not hard to get on.
With Big U.
Atlanta radio, they got nothing else to talk about. I mean, New York radio, that's difficult to get I mean, just getting through security. Atlanta Radio, the door was open. It was wedged open with a shoe. Come on.
Oh,
then
boy.
again, Hugh Douglas is sitting there, so you're like, all right, if I don't have to be here, I think I'm going to leave.
I'll be a little nicer. Yeah.
Sir, that's shaped like the bigger than the couch. But yeah, so we were on New York Radio, and I mean, again, amazing.
It was amazing, and thank you, Glenn Crooks, for having us on. But he brought us there to really. And if you don't know Glenn Crooks, he's the radio announcer for NYCFC on WFAN.
He also discovered Carly Lloyd. Back when he was the coach of Rutgers.
Legendary guy, and
he's literally done He's done so much more in soccer than we've ever done in soccer, comedy, and food, and injuries all put together.
So, but he brought us on to basically, cheer people up about the Hudson River Derby, cheer NYCFC fans up.
Didn't work.
I don't know. I'm like, I thought I was there for him to cheer me up.
Yeah. No, you cheer me up. You've been around.
What is this all about? You're a coach.
Yeah. Can Carly Lloyd call us?
Give us a little pep talk.
Come on.
Cheer us up a little bit. So overall, a rough time for NYCFC fans. But I mean, and when I watched the game over again, and watching it over again, I realized at the stadium when you're a fan of the team, all you can see is how bad bad your team is playing.
Yes.
But when I watch it over, I'm like, holy crap, the Red Bulls were amazing. They were so much better.
We were just so much worse than what you thought. They were amazing, but we knew. I hate saying we. All right, NYCFC knew what they were going to do, and they had zero answer for it. I think that's why a lot of fans are looking and saying like, "Yo, this is Patrick Vieira's fault." You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, if I know you're going to come in here and punch me with the right hand, I should put up a block towards that, right?
Okay.
Then the other thought is, no. What if you just hit him harder with your right hand?
This is now a UFC podcast, so everybody.
Right. Right? So here's my thing. Don't hit anybody. No. That's exactly what NYCFC did. They went there and they were like, well, we're going to play our game in their home, on a field that's shaped differently than the one we normally play our game in. And we're not going to prepare whatsoever for what they're going to do. And also, we're going to do all this lower energy than normal.
Yeah, they definitely did not study for the exam.
There was no whatsoever. No, I'm going to BS my way through. They're like, when you thought it was an open book test, and you're like, it's not. It's not open book.
Where's the Asian kid? I want to copy all the Asian. There's no Asian kids here?
You're yelling at someone like, yo, Janet, get away from the Asian kid. I'm sitting next to him. It's not open book. This isn't fair. I still failed open book test, by the way. There's too many questions. I can't flip through, read the book for the first time.
Right. You know what? That doesn't make me very optimistic about the future of this show.
By the way,
I failed an open book test
multiple times. But let me say, I actually never failed it. I just didn't do great on them. I don't think I ever actually failed. I think I failed one test where there was 2 parts, and I got 100 on one and a 0 on the other because I didn't read it correctly, and I ended up getting a 50. And I was like, come on, I was on a roll. If you flip all those answers, I was right.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it explains why you are a New York City comedian.
Grew up without a father, barely pay attention, sign away.
So look, all right. So we'll talk about the games.
Can I just say something though? I want to condemn third rail.
Wow.
SC.
This is interesting. I've never even heard you use that word.
Condemn.
You wanted to condemn someone. That's a big statement.
I'm out here condemning. 2 tweets. All right. Look, after the game, everybody was mad. Everybody was sad.
Yeah.
But you said it. Most people watching it said it. We got outclassed that day.
Yeah.
NYCFC was beaten by a better team that day. It's not to say every time it's going to be that way. But that day, they were better. Now, here's what Third Rail puts up right after the game. Realistically, NYCFC are the real winners today for not having to play in New Jersey every week. New York is blue. It'll always be blue. And we'll rep blue till we die. The next tweet. It's sad that Red Bull couldn't fill its stadium for its biggest rivalry match. So many empty seats today. What the hell are you talking about?
there was I think the attendance numbers were a little over 25,000.
It doesn't matter.
Sure, it doesn't
what
matter.
does that have to do? Why were you looking up as opposed to looking down at the massacre that was happening?
Sure. I mean, yeah, they couldn't. Maybe Red Bull Arena couldn't fill the seats, but it seems like there weren't even 11 NYCFC players out there.
This is the dumbest thing to look at. And also, realistically, NYCFC are the real winners because they have to play in New Jersey. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I mean, this is tone deaf. This is it's sarcastic for no reason, which again, it's kind of our career, so stop doing it.
No, but it's look, it's
disgusting.
We've had these conversations before with sort of either teams or just soccer social media accounts, and this is there's a balance of like when should we be funny, when should we be sarcastic, when should we show humility, and this is. To me, and this is how I processed it, right? Like I was making jokes, like I tweeted like, the Hudson River Derby was difficult, but at least I got to hear Bulls on Parade 4 times, right? So that's me accepting.
That's you going through but this happened to me.
Yes, it happened to me. So it's like I'm trying to process everything.
Yeah.
I'm not putting down the Red Bulls because I have nothing to say to them. They absolutely dominated the game.
But like, even if you put, I'd rather lose 4-0 than have to play New Jersey. That's not as disrespectful as no. I know we lost 4-0.
Yeah.
But we're the real winners. That's so. It's so. I want to make sure that everyone knows, and this is why NYCFC fans have a bad name. This isn't banter.
It's not the throwing the T-shirts on the field.
The throwing the T-shirts fine. Rolling them up into a ball, trying to get it to, first of all, hit the guy who's grabbing the T-shirts. Throwing the T-shirts down was funny. That was funny. I'll co-sign that every day of the week. Funny. And it floats down. I think one guy got hit with it while he was about to drink a beer, and he just kept drinking a beer with a red shirt over his head. It's funny. It's banter.
Yeah.
These 2 tweets are ridiculous. And then shout-outs to Third Rail New Jersey for all its effort put behind the scenes to make yesterday tailgate such a success. You just shit on your own members who live in New Jersey. And I'm not saying this because I grew up in Jersey. And again, remember, I didn't. I grew up in Newark. It's very different.
It's New Jersey, except
it is. Look, I'm not embarrassed in any way, shape, or form to be from Jersey. Come at me. I still got a tool.
You're not embarrassed being from Jersey. You're not embarrassed that you failed open book tests.
Never.
You a lot of pride out there in Jersey.
I'm nothing but proud. Come at me. Look. I got no problem with it. I've been living in New York for almost 2 decades. I got no problem being from Jersey. I got no problem being from Newark. This is stupid. This is not. This is classless is what this is.
Okay.
You get beat. You make jokes about it. Sure, that's not a joke. If I stood on stage and was like, my mother-in-law's a cunt, that's not a joke. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, I'm listening. As a comic, I'm like, well, all right, this premise
I hope this is going somewhere.
Where is it going exactly?
Yeah. And if I was like, because she's mean, you're like, doesn't seem like there's going to be a punchline at the end of this. I think this guy's just getting it off his chest. You know, and by the way, she isn't. She's actually a very nice person. I'm just trying to give you an example. There's nothing that was said here that makes NYCFC fans look good or this doesn't even take the sting away from losing.
Sure. Look, this is not the first time, and this will not be the last time a soccer social media account, supporters group, whatever, says something ridiculous. Like I see it sometimes as like it's like not in necessarily like who is tweeting. There's a person, right? And it's one person that tweeted
immature.
It's immature. So I don't want to associate it with the entire Third Rail. We know a lot of Third Rail members.
Yeah, and by the way, if the person who tweeted this is listening, explain it. If this was just you getting over your anger, I get it.
Yeah, it's just a bad joke. I mean, it's not like it's not offensive to anyone.
I'm not offended in any way, shape, or form.
It's just poorly worded, poorly handled, and just it doesn't really show. It's obsessed with the rivalry as opposed to being like having some humility in the loss, right? So sometimes people complain about kids getting participation trophies, right? And that's always like they shouldn't get. So it's like. You don't get one. You lost. So accept that you lost. Yeah. Right? You're not getting the participation trophy is just because you had to be there, and it's like you're trying to make light of it. And like accept that you lost. If you're always complaining about that kid that society is soft and all this, then say we got kicked in the teeth and now we're gonna
and had no answer for it, and now we need to go regroup for the next one. That's what you need to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have had more respect. And by the way, I mean, again, I don't think this has anything to do with whoever tweeted this as a person comes across immature. I've been angry at moments and have said some really dumb things.
Oh, sure.
So
I've had to delete tweets of his.
Yeah. I had to give a couple of people my account passwords. Like, if you ever see anything. I've deleted some tweets. I've been like, that doesn't seem right. Yeah. I'm sure it'll come back as soon as I do something big. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I said that in 2008. I'm sorry that I've had Twitter for 10 years and have grown as a human being. But anyway, looking at this, I think this was in bad taste. And the fact that it hasn't been deleted, to me, shows that this person either doesn't have the humility to look back or was very drunk when he put it and doesn't remember to put it up.
I feel like the latter is way more likely.
It's probably very likely.
So look, we'll talk about the game in detail in the next segment, but let's talk about a couple other things that are going on in Major League Soccer. Well, should we pour one out for the homie Ariel Castillo?
Actually, pour one out. Should be champagne, yo. She's doing big things.
Well, we can't say.
We don't say. We don't know.
We don't know
what she's doing. I don't know what she's doing. Don't tweet at us. Don't text us. We don't know what's going on.
It could be anything.
Could be anything.
She could be unemployed. I think she's homeless now.
She could be cat sitting for a living. I don't know what it is.
Or goat sitting. Goat sitting.
Goat sitting. Is that a goat? Is that a sheep? Who knows?
So,
all we know is she is, as of Friday, she's no longer with MLS.
She's no longer with the Major League Soccer. She, if you don't know Ariel Castillo, she ran MLS social media. She was a senior editor. She was on the field taking photos. She was doing social media. She was interviewing players.
Did it all.
She did everything, and she
interviewed David Villa. She's interviewed Zlatan. She was at Zlatan's arrival.
She's done so much stuff. She's done a lot to make Major League Soccer more accessible to it's definitely a younger audience.
And she made it cooler. She made it
without a doubt
a little bit more dope, a little bit more Latin, which I like.
Yeah, very.
She really talk again, Cubana. She's out here talking on behalf of the Cuban people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So pour.
She went to Cuba.
Yeah. So we gotta pour out a little cafecito for her.
A little cafecito.
That David Beckham made.
Yo, David Beckham is my dad. I'm convinced of it.
Wow. Okay. All right.
He's got one kid called Brooklyn. Can you have one called Newark? I'll change my name. Beckham.
I feel like Newark would look very different from all the other children.
Yo, what up, Brooklyn? I heard you got a photo exhibit, my guy.
We'll talk about Beckham in a moment, but. Yeah, Ariel Castillo, she is no longer with MLS. Well, congrats to her for on anything that she does in the future. She did a lot for Major League Soccer. She did a lot for us. Just tell her thanks on at Ariel C on Twitter.
Let her know. And also, if we didn't mention it on the podcast, shouts to Gabby Kirshner, who's moved on from Copa 90.
Yes.
And is now working at Bleacher Report. Women in soccer doing big things.
Huge things, man.
We are not only supportive, we rep, and you guys are the gulliest women in soccer. We rep hard for all these ladies that are doing big things in soccer in a traditionally men-controlled sport. Y'all are changing that, and we're really, really happy to see it.
Definitely.
Thank you. Get out there, make amazing content, make big decisions.
So, so let's talk about another pretty lady, David Beckham. He's making cafecito. All right, you totally missed my joke because you're doing all this other stuff.
Say it again.
I said let's talk about another pretty lady. David Beckham. All right, that was a good joke.
Right. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
But you're focusing on other
stuff.
stuff.
You should tweet for third round.
But yes, there is a video of him. I think you retweeted it.
I retweeted it.
Of him. So, he's going to be in Miami. There's a team that will be there very soon.
He has embraced Miami.
He is getting quite acclimated. And that video, there's a video of David Beckham making cafecito.
If you don't know what cafecito is, right? I mean, we do enough Dominican slang on this. Let's whip up a little Cuban conversation here. Yeah, oh, baby. Cafecito is what I've been drinking since I was, 6.
Yes.
It's
and it's the reason why he can't pass an open book test.
Yeah, it's part of it. I got too many thoughts. It is espresso that is partially whipped with sugar, and then the rest of the espresso is poured over it. And what he actually had was a café con leche, which is after that you put steamed milk in that. So is it sweet? Yeah. Sugar's produced in Cuba. That's what Cuba has. Notice there's corn and everything in the U.S. Yo, because we produce corn,
all right? Why are you getting so defensive? Nobody's attacking
I'm trying
you.
to explain because people are like, yo, Cubans just put sugar in everything. Son, it's everywhere, and it's practically free. We make shit sweet, son.
I think you were already predicting that I was going to say, it looked a little sweet. And you were already, how dare you insult my culture.
You have too much plantains in your food, right? Now you want to fight. That's what I'm talking about. Right, we produce sugar as a country, right? So you whip it up, and he literally did it the way I do it at home, except I don't have that espresso machine. I do it on the stovetop because I'm, I guess classic Cubano. So you whip the sugar with the espresso, and then you pour that over, and then you grab the spuma that's at the top, the little foam that's created, and you put that on top of the coffee, and that's kind of how you want it. You want the spuma to be at the top. You want the much thicker.
It's foam. Just say foam.
Yeah, like Puma. You want the foam at the top, and then but the foam has to be a mixture of that espresso and sugar with air whipped into it. So you're adding the fat from the sugar. It's absolutely incredible.
All right. So if you want fat in your coffee,
buddy, in your coffee,
that's what it's been missing, right?
Yeah. Well, you put milk and sugar in your coffee. You put cream. You gotta add a little fat.
Well, I don't drink coffee, so that's where you and I differ.
Which, by the way, Dominicans drink a lot of coffee. I don't know how you've survived it. You also eat a lot of food. And
you don't know how I've survived.
Yeah. How have other Dominicans not shamed you into drinking coffee?
I've been shamed for many other reasons by Dominican people.
Yeah.
Trust me, I am not
the white girlfriend, isn't it?
Trust me, I am not a non-flawed Dominican person.
No, you've come prepared. I get it. I've got band-aids over my scabs. Let's move it.
Okay, so some other stuff in Major League Soccer. Fernando Torres
just say Torres. Sorry,
okay.
You said just say foam.
Well, there's a different word. I mean, people. The majority of our listeners are probably not predominantly Spanish speakers, so
you don't know that.
I don't. You know what?
Maybe we're helping them learn.
You know what? I don't know that.
Yeah.
I'll say this before we talk about Fernando Torres. A shout out to we've been getting some really awesome reviews on iTunes, so thank you for that.
Keep them coming.
Keep them coming. This one made me very happy. This was from Sela the Great, 1992. They wrote the title is Excellent Show, so funny. I laughed so hard through most of the episode. It's fantastic to listen to a podcast dedicated to Major League Soccer and is proud of MLS. I first listened after they were on Total Soccer Show. Honestly, after listening to one show, I'm more interested in MLS than I've been ever. That's
come on,
super sweet. Thank you so much for that. And if look. We're making MLS more fun even for us. We're trying to have a good time with it because there's a lot of fun storylines like David Beckham having a Cuban lady teach him how to make cafecito.
Yaqui with a Y. Óyeme, Yaqui, ven acá. Y-A-Q-U-Y. You don't get more Cuban. If her name was Yaqui Fidel Castro, she couldn't be more Cuban.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on. So we're glad that we can connect people to that because it's a lot of fun. So make sure you leave a review.
By the way, MLS, are you listening? Oh, wait a minute. We're entertaining and people find the league more entertaining because of us? Are you listening?
No, thank you.
Yeah.
That makes too much sense to work with you guys.
It's too obvious, to be honest. Now that Ariel's out, we got to talk to you guys directly through the podcast.
So. We know you're listening.
Yeah. We know.
So Fernando Torres, Atletico Madrid. He's barely playing over there. He is, he's the Liverpool legend.
I wish he would have played when they played Arsenal.
The Chelsea legend. Was he a legend? He wasn't a legend at Chelsea. He was okay.
Yeah, no, I would say so. Didn't they win? They won Champions League when he was there.
Oh, well, did it? Okay, yeah. Maybe. All right.
Roberto Di Matteo.
I always remember what was that shot that he missed that was really easy at Chelsea? There was one sitter.
I mean,
that was like legendary. But Fernando Torres at Atletico Madrid, he is preparing for a move from the team. And the rumor is that he will be going, or not that he will be going, but that he is that the Chicago Fire. He was on the discovery list for the Chicago Fire. So it looks like that they're trying hard to get him to come to the team. But according to Charles Boehm,
he ain't having it.
MLS writer at MLSsoccer.com, he says that Fernando Torres, according to his sources, he does not want to go to a cold weather city.
I mean, it's a summer league, though.
Okay.
So he's not going to have to play in cold weather unless Chicago Fire gets to the final.
But I guess the way I took it was like he wants to live in a warmer place as opposed to living in Chicago where even, in the off-season it is cold.
So go live in L.A. in the off-season.
That's what, that makes sense to me. I don't know what, maybe Torres doesn't
understand. Or can a bunch of people from Chicago just follow him around going,
oh, that'd be lovely. Yeah.
You're not lying when they say Windy City, but
with some Giordano's East on their breath. That'd be lovely. I think we talked about this a little bit last week, right? That there was rumor that he was going to possibly go to Chicago. He obviously he has a strong connection with David Villa at NYCFC. Some people are suggesting that might be a possibility.
Anything is better than Joe Inge Burgett. Which, by the way, shouts to him for the baggy jersey, though. That's kind of dope. Everything else stinks. And I'm just upset right now.
Yeah, you say it's gonna take a while to get over that. But look, I don't know. There was another.
He can't go to LAFC. He can't go to LA.
Yeah, there's no money.
He's going to be too old by the time Miami happens.
The other suggestion, apparently there's a couple other teams that are like waiting in the wings.
San Jose?
I don't know if it's San Jose. I know it's Chicago.
San Ho?
Houston. I think it might have been San Jose also.
Houston's warm as hell.
So that's the thing. So Charles Boehm, one of the rumors that Houston is on that list of potential teams. So it's like, yeah, if you want a warm city, I mean, you want it's going to be it's Qatar in August. You know, it's quite
how warm you want it, my guy.
All right, because you didn't say exactly what time. You just said warm.
Welcome to FC Dallas.
Okay.
How you like us now?
All right. Make sure you get in the sunscreen tub before you step on the pitch. Because you will be engulfed in flames.
Also, he played at Chelsea. So I mean, they what, 3 days of summer in England? Come on now.
Yeah, I look. It all sounds like a more of a family decision more than where he wants to play.
Then send your family to Miami, and you live in Chicago. It's not that long of a flight.
Yeah, it's very easy for a guy with no family to tell people what to do.
If my family packed up and moved away, I'd be like, go ahead, go to Miami. You bunch of Cubans, get down there.
Real easy to just say, just split the family up.
He's a professional. Hard. He's on the road most of the time anyway.
I mean, come on. Don't be
we
that
got FaceTime now.
Don't be that dismissive. It's a little tough. It's a little tough.
You're a soccer player. Then don't come to the league at like 30-something years old.
Okay, but wait.
Although he's only like 32, though, right?
I don't know exactly how old he is, but so that's a possibility. We'll keep you guys abreast to the situation.
Oh, he's 34 years old. All right, then retire, dude. Go to the south of China. All right, go make $100 million that you're definitely never gonna get paid.
So some other Spanish news. Apparently. We were talking. I think we talked about this last week as well. Andres Iniesta, who is announced he's been on a crying tour, game after game. He's just crying, and every time he gets subbed off, he's just in tears.
Every time, waving at fans. They're not even clapping anymore. They're like, no, we know.
Every stadium. Okay, we get it.
Your second time here, guys. We're good.
So apparently it was rumored that he was going to be going to China. And according to Matthew Doyle, that's off. I don't know if that's...
Yeah, we can't find that information anywhere else
it's
besides
certain,
Matt Doyle.
But Matt Doyle, he got connects. He knows.
He knows what's up.
So he suggested a bunch of other MLS teams that he should go to. But the weird thing was that it was announced that part of the deal of Iniesta going to China was that he was going to sell... I think it was 6 million bottles of wine that from his.
Well, they agreed to buy that from his vineyard.
Yes, so that was like part of the deal. Like, yo, you got
seems really above board.
You want to sign
this whole thing?
Just like the whole Neymar thing went really.
Everything's totally legal right now. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, I mean, financial fair play. I can't hear you because of the stacks of money from Dubai that I'm getting.
Yeah, that truck backing up is cash, but it has nothing to do with my purchase. I want you to know that. Oh, your wife has a hair salon? I'm gonna buy every hair salon. I don't know that she's booked out for the rest of the year. This is highly illegal, but it's China. I mean, I don't think there's any laws against that in China.
Look, I don't know how involved FIFA is with any transfers to China. It just seems a little strange that part of the deal was this. Maybe the deal fell through because of, like, you know what, maybe only 3 million bottles of wines, and Iniesta was like, no, that is not what I want.
How dare you limit the amount of bottles that I'm never actually going to deliver to you.
So it's a sort of a weird story. That's another one where, like, is it a possibility that he goes to Major League Soccer? Is that even plausible? I don't know. It doesn't. To me, it doesn't make much. I mean, it would be fun, but I don't know. Like, he could get more money somewhere else, and maybe he's just trying to get that last huge contract before he's done playing. And also, Iniesta's another one that is. I think he's 34, maybe 33.
No, Iniesta's older.
He looks old. Iniesta looks like a 42-year-old.
Yeah, whenever I see a picture of him not wearing a jersey, I'm like, oh, Iniesta's uncle. It's really cool.
So, I don't know how old is he? He's
33 years. He's younger than Fernando Torres.
He's younger than me. He's younger than both of us.
He's younger than me.
Iniesta looks like he's been refereeing for 22 years. You know what I mean?
Yo, and it's not just the hair loss; it's everything. It's the face.
Yeah, especially when you see him, Barcelona has been tweeting a bunch of like old the like classic Iniesta, like his first cap and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and just fresh faced, like looks like a little boy. With
man, you age quick.
He aged
when you're the fulcrum of Barcelona. My God,
I mean, he literally carrying the team for like 15 years.
Look at this picture. There's, I mean, you're not seeing it.
I mean, he looks like he's been
every bit of a 55-year-old man.
He looks like he's like an old man who constantly summers in Ibiza.
Yeah,
you know?
where is he? Like, yeah, he's definitely like an old guy who's dating like a much younger woman and is gonna try cocaine regardless of the fact that he had a heart attack 10 years ago. He's like, I don't want to lose this girl, so I got to do a little bit of blow right now.
I got to be cool. She's not gonna think I'm cool.
I know. I mean, I don't want to be the old man. You know, he's gonna do blow and he's gonna have some hymns. Just blow his heart out of his chest.
So look, it'd be amazing if he ends up.
Dude, even him wearing a hoodie.
Sure,
he looks older than Pep Guardiola.
He looks like when he's wearing a hoodie, he looks like he's trying too hard. So it's gonna be interesting. So a couple other things real quick before we get.
Here's a surprise: Andres Iniesta has an IMDb.
Okay.
All right.
Look, he got more credits than we do.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, he's been at this much longer.
So another thing in London at Olympic Stadium, right? Wait, West Ham is in London, right? Yeah, that's in London also. So they announced recently that they will be hosting Major League Baseball.
Yay!
Would be really imagine MLS games out in London.
Everybody,
how would that be received?
That would be pretty great. I don't even want to say. I don't even want to say.
I don't even want to imagine
just.
The
Everybody take about 5 seconds right now to think about what you would say if you were on this podcast.
I think they would go solely to belittle and just yell at
100%. Just to hold up a sign that says it's called football. Guaranteed.
It would be super entertaining. So Olympic Stadium, West Ham Stadium, they will be hosting the Yankees against the Red Sox.
Wow, wait a minute. So the Yankees complaining about having a soccer team playing on their baseball field.
Uh-oh.
And now we're going to have a baseball team playing on a soccer field? Huh?
Okay, what's good for the goose?
Yeah.
It's going to be... Look, I
can't imagine the English fans. They're so confused when they're like, and that pitch was a strike. I'm sorry, there's a strike on the pitch. For what? What did we do? Is the factory shutting down again?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of things lost in translation.
Yeah. And that was a ball. Of course it was a ball. I saw them throw it. I don't get it.
Are you mental?
Yeah. Where are the wickets? This ain't right.
Well, they are. Cricket is pretty popular, right? I don't know how big it is in general.
Cricket, I think, is like the rich man's game.
Okay.
Out there, that's like the Kentucky Derby. You know, you get dressed up for it and all that.
Really?
There's one of them. I forget. They call it something stupid like the Lords or something.
Yeah. Okay. She's a great singer. I like her music.
Yeah.
The
game is quite royal.
Ooh. You know what I love about the podcast is that you always do like a motion, and the majority of people are listening to the show.
Yeah, it's for the ones watching. So if you haven't watched the podcast, watch it.
It's like
you get a little shout out every time I give a
if you want to know what Alexis looks like when he just made his
a
bad pun, he looks like that there's that gif of the prisoner
getting arrested.
No, the gif of the guy in court, right?
The judge reads out,
but
it's a chick. The
lawyer
judge is a lady.
The lawyer is reading out what the guy was like. I guess I don't know exactly what the case was.
Me neither.
But he's reading comments of like that he was basically harassing her, and she goes, "Girl, you look thicker than a bowl of oatmeal," and then he goes like. Yeah, he does a double. Yep, that's me. Thank you for quoting me correctly.
Yeah. It's a great gif.
And that's what Alexis looks like when he makes a pun. So
only when I know it's bad. I want to give you guys a freeze frame.
Exactly. So final two things before we get into talk about the disaster in New Jersey. Let's real quick. Bug Eaters. We haven't talked about them in a little bit. Bug Eaters.
2 games.
They've actually played 3 games.
Oh.
So Bug Eaters is the MPSL team that reps the Cooligans all day, and we talk about them as well. Bug Eaters is out in Nebraska, in Lincoln City,
Nebraska.
Lincoln City, Nebraska, and they've been in the East Coast, playing some games.
They came out here. Unfortunately, it was the day of the Red Bull massacre, so we couldn't go.
Yes.
But they were down in Atlantic City playing another great team that also reps us a little bit on Twitter, Atlantic City FC.
That's right. So this is they won their first game against the Sioux Falls Thunder.
Yeah.
And then so the next 2 games were against Atlantic City and Bear Fight FC. That was in Delaware. So the last 2 games were exhibition games, but they lost one. They lost against Atlantic City 5-3 in the Surf and Turf Derby, and then they won 4-1 against Bear Fight FC.
All right.
I mean, it's not easy to travel that much. I mean, this is MLS travel.
Yeah,
pretty much.
This is MLS level travel.
Okay, and
also, I mean, just the weight of carrying our logo on your arms.
I mean, that's challenging. But
got a lot to live up to, guys.
A lot of pressure. But they had games. 2 days in a row, May 5th and May 6th. So that's not easy. And then they won the second game. So this is like, I can imagine how spent they were, but to win the second game, it says a lot about the club. So, I mean, to be associated, if I want to be associated with any club, I mean, this is the right one to be.
Especially, think about it.
It's a gully-ass club.
I would love to be part of that gully front office who's like, yo, y'all playing 2 days in a row. And you're traveling all over the country for it. I love it.
No, there's clearly a lot of heart there. So congrats to Bug Eaters.
And they got their home opener coming up May 19th.
That's right.
7 p.m. against Bison. And the Bison Cup against FC Boulder.
Yeah, so that's going to be tough.
It's going to be dope. Bison Cup. Go win that cup.
FFC Boulder.
Yeah.
Done. We hate those guys.
As they do in England.
Okay, so last thing, real quick, a lot of people, especially when we were at Rebel Arena, a lot of people kept asking us about stand-up shows because we're stand-up comedians and we barely ever talk about the gigs that we have lined up. So we should.
We also both run a show, each other's. We run independent shows.
That's right.
Which you should come and support.
Yeah. So Alexis has a monthly show.
It's actually now twice a month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's called Illuminati Party. They're both on Wednesday, so you have to pick which one of us you like more.
Yeah.
His show's on Wednesday, mine's on Wednesdays. But mine's the first Wednesday of every month, and then 2 weeks after that. There's no easy way to say it, okay? It's just twice a month. The next one's May 19th. So come to Illuminati Party, May 19th. It's in Lower Manhattan at a place called Gelso and Grand. It's a secret show. It's by invite only. I just invited all y'all.
Yeah.
So if you want to come, let me know. I'll throw you on the list. I'll send you the link so you can throw yourself on the list. Come through.
That's right. So hit up at Not Alexis.
Yeah, you
Twitter.
can do at Not Alexis, or just message Soccer Cooligans. Say like, yo, Alexis, I want to come to the show.
That's right. And I host a weekly show also every Wednesday at Two Boots in Park Slope in Brooklyn.
Which is confusing people. You're the one who hosts
the pizza
show at a pizza shop.
That's right.
Pizza shop.
I don't eat all. I mean, you would eat all the pizza. If, so it would be very.
I would be going. You're not coming here. I just got 2 slices of pizza, one in each hand.
So that's always going on every single Wednesday at 8:00 at Two Boots in Park Slope, Brooklyn. So
it's been going on for a while now.
It's been a little over 3 years.
Yeah.
So just come to that every single time. I'm also going to be in Brooklyn again on Thursday, May 10th at Abe Mixture, which is a show at Legion Bar in Williamsburg. So
Love
if you
that
want to
room.
come to that, it's another really, really fun show. So you can go to alexisguerreros.com to see his dates, and you can go to christianpolanco.com to see mine. If you want to support our stand-up, which a lot of people have been asking us, they ask us all the time.
And I promise I will update it. Okay.
Okay.
I don't always put my dates up.
Oh, you should.
Really
you should connect it to your calendar.
I do, but I have to pick the right calendar. It's a long story, guys.
Yeah, open book test. I mean, who wants to deal with all that? So make sure.
If you want to know, just call me. We're kicking it old school.
So make sure you support a stand-up. If you're in New York, or if you already live in New York and you just want to check out a show, we're always around. And these are the shows that we host regularly, but we're also on other shows all over the city.
I'm literally like at New York Comedy Club like 3 or 4 nights a week. So just whatever you guys want, let me know. I might even be able to hook you guys up with free tickets to New York if you want.
Yeah, so do that. Okay, so let's get to our next segment where we will try to process our feelings.
Never.
A lot went on. So we're going to talk about a bunch of games, and it'll be great. So we'll be right back right after this.
Hey, thank you so much for listening to the Cooligans. I just want to break in real quick with a word from our sponsor, Away Days.
Away Days football is back with us, and look, a lot of fans of ours have already been sending us photos of their mystery kits that they've been receiving.
Yeah, they tag us in it, which is really dope. Some amazing kits. If you don't know how this works, by the way, you can get anything you want. You can get hats, shirts, whatever you want on awaydaysfootball.com. And if you use Cooligans, you get 15% off everything on the site, which is pretty dope. But one thing that our fans seem to be really happy with, and really, really shocking, not shocking at all, I should say, is the fact that they're getting these dope kits through the mystery kit program and the mystery package, which gives you, one of our fans got a kit, a jacket, and a scarf. You get 15% off all of that just by putting the word Cooligans in there.
Yeah, and some of the kits are absolutely fly as hell, and
they're so dope.
And there is that kind of excitement of like you
what are you
this
gonna
kit?
get? You don't know what you just ordered.
You don't know what country it's coming from.
Oh
you don't even know what sport it is. I'm kidding. It's a soccer.
Yeah. And it's not one of the big teams, so you're not gonna get a rival.
Yeah.
Like I'm an Arsenal fan. I would not want to get Tottenham. You won't get Tottenham, right?
You won't get Tottenham.
You're an Everton fan. You would
nobody
Liverpool.
wants a Tottenham kit.
Nobody wants that. You're not going to get Liverpool. You're not going to get that because they give you the lower league teams and these really, really cool jerseys.
Yeah.
Some of them funky, maybe a few years old, but they're brand new kits. It's really dope. Check them out. Go to awaydaysfootball.com.
Hi, this is Mike Coscarelli from Anxiety Now.
And Andrea Allen from the Hot Mess Comedy Hour.
We just launched the brand new OG Podcast Network and wanted to let you know that you can hear ours and other great shows by going to ogpodcastnetwork.com.
Also, be sure to follow the network on social media to keep up to date with new shows, videos, and live events.
That's at OG Podcasts on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Or you can subscribe to your favorite OG podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, baby, we're back.
We are. What is up? All right, so let's get to these Major League Soccer games.
No.
Podcast over.
Let's talk about anything else.
No,
please.
It is our duty.
It feels like duty.
All right, we'll go. In an effort to delay the inevitable, let's go in the order that the games were played. And the Friday night game was Toronto against Philly.
Boo. I don't want to talk about the games at all.
So look,
I'm happy for Toronto for getting back on the win. But. What better way to do it than to play the Philadelphia Union?
Playing the Philadelphia Union will cheer anybody up.
Yeah, they are. I like what is it called? Like when your friend was like an easy rebound. Remember, like there was a girl in the group who was like, "That's the girl you go to when you break up."
I don't know the title for this.
It's not a good one, but I know there's a title.
I'm happy you forgot it, to be honest.
So are the fans.
So you mean like a kind woman that is willing to
giving? I think we would say. Saint?
Okay, a hero.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the name of it. So look, Toronto played Philly. No one really.
Not all heroes have wings. Some have flaps. Anyway, do you want to cut that
out? Okay.
Here we go.
I'm glad that made it in. Look, nobody really expects too much out of the Philadelphia Union, especially playing against Toronto FC.
Although there are higher in the standings than Toronto FC.
That's right. Not for much longer.
No, and also not for the what is it?
The wanted trying, not for the wanted trying.
Yeah.
So look, but look, anybody listening, you come to me for the words.
Yeah. I know this is an audio podcast, but don't expect me to know words.
That is too much to ask of Mr. Guerreros.
Yeah.
Toronto FC.
How long can I lean on being ESL?
Toronto FC were dominant, clearly, and I don't want to really talk too much about how great Toronto was, and I also don't want to stress too much about how bad Philly are. But I think that
you said it all there.
I think that that's more. We know what to expect from Toronto. They a dominant team. You saw it in CCL. The only reason they're in the standings where they currently are is because of CCL, and in their first 5 MLS matches, they literally played the kids. They played the kids. They played the kids. I mean, they were children out there.
There was a little kid just holding the ball, running around. They were just like, let it go for a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, give them a break. And so they lost a lot of games early on.
Yeah, they played like an NPSL team.
Yeah, that's who they fielded, right?
Yeah.
So not too much to expect, but Philly, you would hope that I mean, something would happen at some point during
Something
the season.
has to break.
Yeah, it's just look. You're starting to see, especially the frustration. The guy I feel the most bad for, maybe I shouldn't, not necessarily him because he's getting paid quite well. But Alejandro Bedoya it seems like the only guy who's really trying out there. And we know David Beckham was was gonna sort of revitalize the team. And it almost seems like David Beckham arriving to Philly affected both teams negatively. It's Chicago, who has like no offensive real threat.
Just send him back.
And Philly are not using him correctly.
No.
So there a lot of issues with Tua, especially when we kind of expected a little bit more of an offensive edge to Philly this year.
I mean, here's the thing, right? So a lot of Philly fans were upset that their team is not spending any money. Their ownership is not spending any money whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Then the rumor was that they're going to just try to get people on TAM because it's technically not actually money being spent. It's kind of like part of this pool.
It's like an allowance.
It's like a pool of money. Yeah. So they're just going to go
that
out.
The Philly union owners are swimming in and not spending.
So they just went ahead and kind of went out and just bought a player or players on TAM, really just like a calm.
Yeah.
And what you're seeing is a team that wasn't great last year. Other teams around them have gotten better. And all they did is bring in this one player, which you said it, they're not using correctly. Clearly.
I think it's possible. I don't know how many shots David Beckham has this season, but he's like top 3 or something like that, top 4 without a goal. A big concern. So, look, we can talk all day about how bad Philly is.
Hold on a second. There's 2 designated players on Philly.
Okay.
Now, remember, this is a podcast where we watch MLS, we talk about MLS, we surround ourselves in all things MLS and all American soccer, but MLS clearly is the thing we talk about most because it's the season that's happening. I will give you $5 out of my pocket if you can tell me the other designated player on Philadelphia.
Besides Alejandro Bedoya? It's not Akam because it's not a time deal. It's not Sapong.
Nope.
It is Meduninen?
Nope. Oh. I'll give you one more try. Because I want to move on.
I'm having trouble naming another Philadelphia Union player.
Which is part of the reason why I'm doing this. This isn't to say that Christian doesn't know it, because I didn't know until I looked down and I saw Boric Dokal.
Ooh, okay. I think it's
really
Dokal. I think is
Dokal.
I think it's pronounced, but I could be wrong. But right, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he's a guy.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I don't think he's earned his contract because there's not been one highlight that I've seen where Boric, is he injured? He might be injured. Boric has not done a damn thing. How is that a DP? Philadelphia has messed up every step of the way. And they're supposed to have this incredible academy, the YSA.
Sure.
Come and stay at the...
No, go sing it. Sing
it. YSA. You ain't gonna do shit.
Look, yeah, so a lot of problems, and hopefully they sort them out. But there is a visible frustration amongst the players. Look, Toronto's a good team. You're not really going to expect Philly to dominate, but to play it, to lose 3-0 and to play as poorly as they did, it really seemed like it took a lot of wind out of their sails after the first great shot on goal, the from the set piece. Bedoya headed it, and Bono deflected the ball and it hit the crossbar. And you sort of felt like it was like if they could have gotten that first goal, it would have changed the dynamic of the game and for them.
There was also a header that ended up hitting the crossbar.
That was Bedoya's. Yeah, so that's like the
No, there was a header.
There
was a header on a corner.
Bedoya.
No, Bedoya was the pass to CJ Sapong.
Okay, but Bedoya headed that ball that hit the crossbar, Alexis.
Right. I mean, I'm not paying attention apparently because I thought you were talking about the other one.
So look,
we don't even want to talk about this game.
But they got kind of embarrassed. There was the goal from Giovinco where he cut up Jack Elliott and just kind of left him stumbling around, look like an N1 mixtape. And I felt bad. I feel bad for Bedoya. I feel bad for Andre Blake. I'm like, these guys they should have a better squad around them. And even last season, I know they didn't make the playoffs, but they looked there was a little bit of more, some more composure. Just a bad. Like I hate seeing these teams that are just like, we know what the problem is, right? We can see it. We can all see it.
I'm staring at it. Yeah.
And I hate that. Even Minnesota, who's so bad, they've won 2 games in a row.
They've done some things. They've switched some things around.
So it's like, they shouldn't be this consistently bad. So, yeah. Philly, a lot of issues, right? They're on 8 points on the season. They're not the worst team, but they sort of they're fighting for that bottom spot. You know?
Yeah. They're trying to get relegated. They're like, come on,
week after week. So next up, let's talk about the Montreal Impact against the New England Revolution. Great game. This was an entertaining battle.
Can I just say it was a little difficult to watch
because
of the announcer?
Yes, I had a.
We talked about this before with another player.
Yeah,
Almarin or whatever they used to say.
Yes,
This one was Piatti.
No.
Piatti.
He does Piatti instead of Piatti.
No, he does Piatti.
No, he does. There's another guy, Piat. There's a player.
No. He does Piatti. Like instead of we say Piatti.
No. All right. Well, we're gonna have this fight. We can just play it because
we could play it.
He says Piatti.
Piatti.
When it's Piatti.
Right, that's the same thing. I heard an but yeah, it's just that Canadian A.
But no, it's not the same thing. That's not his name.
Piatti. Well, really, we're gonna have this argument.
Piatti.
Piatti is how it sounded to me, and I was like, this is so annoying. Another pass to Piatti. Or Piatti.
It's Piatti. That's what he says. It's bad. I don't like it.
It's so different from Piatti.
Yeah.
And that's how you pronounce it
it's
in his language, in the language that it originated from, in Italian, and honestly, very easily in English.
It's a very simple name. It's not too confusing.
It's so frustrating to listen because he's the guy getting all the highlights, and they keep announcing his name.
But
also, Jackson Hamill, just Jackson now.
Yeah, he removed the Hamel from the.
He got the Hamel out of there.
Yeah. So a little easier, but people still say Jackson Hamel. I think it's a little difficult to change. It's a little too late.
Honestly, I think it was a little bit classier with Jackson Hamel.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. A little hyphenated name.
Come on now,
it's great.
It's kind of dope. Very very European.
But Jackson Mel was incredible this game. He hasn't gotten much playing time, and they were sort of suggesting that he was having a tough time getting minutes. But
I don't know how, because Sam Stejskal said this. He is third in players over 10 goals. That in the amount of goals they have in the first 90 per 90 minutes. Goals per 90.
He's been great. Yeah, he scored a bunch.
When he's in, he scores. I just think he's like one of those that's like kind of a calamity. You're not really sure how, but he makes those great runs.
Well, if you have to pick between him and Mancosu, that I guess you'll probably go Mancosu. He's probably just a little bit better.
I mean, no, I'd probably go Jackson Hamel until he cools down. You know, it's sort of like it's like the Giroud rule. You know, we don't know how he's doing.
Say that again?
The Giroud rule. The Giroud
rule. Well, you don't pronounce
Everyone else
the D.
just thought we went rewind. The Giroud rule. It's hard to start the other one without saying the D.
Yes, it is.
Giroud rule. Anyway, it's, you play him when he's hot.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, he's always hot. Let's start there.
I mean, that's
again, take your shirts off, players. You play him when he's on fire, and you sit him when he's not.
Okay, yeah, and I think Remigard is learning this with Jackson Hamel. He scored the first 2 goals. He probably could have had another one early on. He probably could have had 3. Raheem Edwards scores a great goal, but really the man of this match has to be Piatti. Because he was responsible for every single goal.
He is.
He puts the ball exactly where you need it. It's insane. Like, he can score as almost at will. And he can set his teammates up almost from any place on the field.
He is too valuable to that team
to even be playing there. As
you know what? We've said it before. Send him away. Although Remigard had kind of had a coming to Jesus moment with his team. Kind of yelled at all of them, told them they weren't playing with enough confidence, and they weren't blah 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 blah.
How's that an example of a come to Jesus moment? What is that exactly?
It's like, well, look, we got to have the talk.
The Jesus kids, everybody, kids, sit down.
Everybody, could you just come to Jesus? That's a come to Jesus moment.
I'm gonna have to tell you. I'm gonna have to teach you about Jesus, and also the really bad day he had. This one bad day.
This is pretty bad. He didn't play that well.
So, okay.
He really left it all out there. Up there, actually. Left it all up there. But
Okay.
it was like one of those, he had like this is it. We can't keep playing that way. We can't blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And he put it on his team to come out with confidence, and boy, did they.
Yeah, they scored the first 4 goals. They gave up 2 after Piatti was taken off the field. But good to see just some, look, Montreal still has a couple defensive issues, and I think once they scored those 4 goals defensively, they just took their foot off the gas, and you can see it in the first goal from I forgot who scored the first goal for New England.
Jackson.
No, for New England. Wilfred Zahibo.
Zahibo scored both.
He scored both.
One of them was worldy.
On the header was the one where if you look at the far post, first of all, no one's marking him
Which, by the way, the biggest guy. His hair is dyed. It's a black dude with blonde and red hair.
Yeah, can't miss him.
You cannot miss him. And he's a monster. He's a huge man compared to everyone else.
Yeah.
And he is waltzing in by himself.
So, Victor Cabrera and Lovitz, they both are not marking Zahibo. And
Right.
and if you look at the far post, you can see Lovitz and Cabrera somehow marking each other. They literally look like they're tussling amongst themselves.
Yeah, I got him. Oh, that's you.
Wait, what do you know?
What are you telling me? I got him. No, I got him. No, I got him.
Yeah.
I got him. It's like a cartoon where they shut the light off and the 2 guys like, I think I got him. They flip the light on and they're both on top of each other.
It reminded me of like the Spider-Man meme with the 2 Spider-Mans pointing at each other.
Yeah.
It was just like that's how Montreal is like defending. They just look at the same guy. I got him.
This one right here, wearing the same shirt as me. Got him.
He ain't scoring. I can tell you that much. So it was just a kind of dumb mistake, and it took away the clean sheet, the possible clean sheet for Evan Bush. But
it did get a little sketchy there too because he scored again.
Yeah, he scored this.
And also they were covering him quite well, but he sort of, I don't know exactly what it is. It's like an over the shoulder volley. It was like a scorpion kick where he didn't leave the ground.
Okay,
not a scorpion, like a scissor, like a bicycle kick where he didn't leave the ground. It's kind of like this weird twisting.
Yeah, we were looking at it now. Yeah,
he's running away from the goal and kind of like turns.
Sure, it looks similar to the pass that Zlatan made to Gio Dos Santos that led to the goal.
Yes.
Like sort of that back. Like I know where he is. It's that no look scissor kick.
I don't need to trap this. I'm gonna just send it right here.
You know how we just do no look scissor kicks all day?
Well, that's Wednesdays. Wednesdays we practice no look scissor kicks behind us.
So it looked sharp. So good to see from Montreal because we were early on in the year we were barely talking about them because they were playing so badly. There wasn't much to say.
All right, next game, Minnesota beats Vancouver. Wonderful.
Next game.
You want to talk about LAFC versus Dallas? 1-1 draw. We'll talk about it for an hour.
On the docket, New York City Football Club.
They had a bye week, right?
It's over. I mean, I think they thought they did.
Yeah. Actually, they did. They certainly did.
They look at the standings. They're like, "Hey, we had a bye week. What is?"
Vieira's like, "I thought this was a friendly."
What's all this about? New York City FC heads over to Harrison, New Jersey to play against the New York Red Bulls. And
whose manager is already on his way to Arsenal mentally. Although, rumors Everton now.
Okay.
Did you see this?
I didn't see that.
Patrick Vieira to Everton.
I mean, I don't want him to leave NYCFC just yet. So that
especially not to go lower division and go to Everton. Oof.
Oh boy!
Here we go.
Look at that. Like I think Arsenal's like one position above Everton.
It's a big one.
Like a big difference.
Don't hurt my heart.
The Rebels are hosting this game. Win 4-0 against NYCFC, and that's all right. Well, we talked about it a little bit in the beginning of the show.
It should have been like 6-0. I mean, honestly,
let's start with some of the. Look, a lot of people were shocked. Yeah, I think even Rebels fans were shocked. And shout out to Seeing Red, host of Seeing Red, Mark Fishkin, great dude we finally got to. I met him at Rebel Arena. Finally, I was walking to the bathroom during halftime and bumped into him and his kid and said hello. You know I got to say about Mark Fishkin because it was 3-0 at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Fishkin gave me one of the best hugs I've ever received.
Yeah?
Yeah, great hug on that guy. It was good. I was wearing an NYCFC jersey. He was wearing a Rebel jersey, but just chest to chest.
Like when the Bloods and Crips come together. Beautiful thing.
And we squash the beef.
Yeah. You know? Beef is squashed.
You know, lots of people have died in this beef, but now
couple sandwich boards.
It's all been sorted out. So let's start there were a couple things. We're going to talk about the details of the game in just a moment.
I don't want to, but go ahead.
But let's talk about some of the comments from NYCFC players and staff after the game, because some of my favorites had to be from my favorite one by far, Alexander Ring,
who he holds back the way, you know, I do when I'm ordering breakfast. You know, I'll just, you know what? I don't care. I want what I want. I'm gonna order it.
Yeah.
You're
gonna learn today, deli man.
Yeah.
All right. You better get it right.
Can't grab that second spatula, my guy.
Okay. You need assistance back there.
You think I'm ordering for a construction site? No, sir. I'm eating it right here.
And I'm gonna make eye contact with you.
I'm gonna judge each sandwich.
Look, Alexander Ring kept it real, and I'm glad that that NYCFC has a player like this on the team.
Gulliest player on the team.
Without
a doubt.
The Gully Award in wins and losses, man. This dude keeps it real. So first thing he said, first comment, he goes, "We have to," quote, "we have to be honest with ourselves and admit the truth. This was a shit game from us, and we deserve to lose." Yes. Close
bing,
quote.
Bing, 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 bing.
That's right. That's how. Look, that is how athletes. I want all my athletes to talk that way.
This is what it means to want to win, and this is coming from a system and a place. And I'm not trying to be a truther, but we don't have the cap limits the amount of players you can have. So those players are kind of locked into their positions. They understand that there's not that much competition. Where Alex Ring comes from is, if you don't play well, if you lose, you sit. And that's embarrassing. You might be off the team. You don't have that luxury in America because we're forced to keep the players. There's a cap, so you kind of have to play with what you have. So he's coming from this like, no. That's not just a bad game. That could be the end of your career in other countries.
Sure. Yeah. A derby, that, an important fixture like that, and to have that bad of a performance is like, those are the ones that, just like the 7-0, it's like the memorable ones.
Yes.
That can definitively affect, like, not only your career, because derbies over across the globe, like, there's the emotional pressure that attached to them.
The pressure from the fans.
They
should be apologizing to the fans.
Well, yeah, I think that's been evident. A lot of the players
did it. A lot
on
of
social
people
media.
did.
A lot of, but
what I'm saying is, if this were to happen in Europe, and you know how I feel, I'm an American stan. You know what I mean? I'm not America stan. Look out. I'm not sitting here always repping Europe, but this is the one of the things they get very right is the players would feel bad. They would have to sort of apologize to the fans. The fans are owed an answer. Away fans went. I mean, look, the travel wasn't far, but you had to swipe twice. Nobody wants to do that on the subway to get to the path. They chanted the entire time, mostly up until, 3-0?
I mean, up until it was after 1-0 in the first minute, it was already slowing down.
A couple people started to slow down, but they were there. They stayed the whole match.
Yeah, but look, even the point that you're making about how important it is to a player's career, like derbies
you could lose confidence of the fans, and the fans could ask for you to be removed off the team.
It's a global thing across the world. These rivalry matches and your composure and how you handle yourself it's on your resume.
Yeah.
These losses. You know what I mean? Like,
this is a part of your career.
How does he play in derbies?
Yeah,
because that's the kind of guy we need that handles that kind of pressure well.
Oh, this guy always shows up.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question, and I'm sorry, Christian actually just went to the bathroom. This is Federico Higuain now. What would happen if this were to happen in Argentina?
You die. No, you die.
People die.
People die.
I mean, I don't know. If this happened in Argentina, people die.
Look, I mean,
ask Piatti.
But Alexander Ring also went on to say, he says, quote, "This is a game we have to forget fast. We didn't bring our passion or energy that we used to bring, so we can come here and play flick-ons and shit like that, and this happens." Close quote. I mean, so this was more than just, hey, we didn't play well. This was like, yo, some of my teammates,
y'all flexing out there when we don't need to be flexing,
being a little too cute. And so he kept it real, and again, this is I respect this because look, there were even the people. There were a couple bad choices even from the captain David Villa, a couple flicks that probably weren't necessary. So just the fact that
he got subbed off, that does not feel good at a derby.
Exactly. So this is the proper way to process it, Like, we could say third rail, like, hey, look at what Alex Ring said. This is a bit more the proper.
Yeah, he didn't say, like, I'm happy to be leaving New Jersey.
So, look, if it's this is how it should.
Wait, keep reading it. I love the next line. This is an Alex Ring quote.
Which one?
What's the next line after that? The flick on and.
Oh, no, I read that.
Yeah, that's pretty well put. I think the second half was better, but it was too late to change things. We fucked up in the first half and can't let that happen again. We have to learn our lesson from this game because we deserve to lose. This was an embarrassment. We have to take responsibility. Yes. Forget this game over the next couple days and see that it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
He literally said we fucked up in the first half. And some of you could care less. Maybe you're young and you're used to players talking this way. No one talks this way.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, well, we got to go back and respect to them. They played well. This is the voice of the fans. This is why people get behind Alex Ring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, look,
he pulled no punch.
So, let's go over a couple of details in the game itself. Look, early goal from Kaku, just the first goal, when you see I think the biggest... one of the guys who had one of the worst games I've ever seen was Maxime Chanot. He came back.
You mean one of the worst halves?
Halves, yes, he was
got subbed off.
Because so a center back getting subbed off, that doesn't happen every day. And when it does happen, it's like, yo, it's you.
Yeah,
you're the problem.
Guess what? You're part of the reason.
Well, the first goal happened because of a pass to. I mean, a lot of people were responsible, right? Because David Villa.
Let's not even go over individual players.
No. There's a couple mistakes. I mean, look, the Rebels were great, and they were certain. There were two goals that they earned. I think the first one was just such a dumb decision, and not adapting, not taking the game like seriously enough to that early, right? Yeah. So Villa gets a ball that's going towards him, and he does a flick to Morales. Morales is not even running at the speed to catch up to a ball like that.
No.
And it gets turned over. It takes another bounce, and Chanot, like, he just makes the worst. He, instead of trapping the ball, he heads the ball down to another Rebel player.
He heads it to the center, which I was listening. I forgot what podcast said, like, oh, when they play their game, they head it to the central defensive midfielder so they could spring the attack. There was no one there.
There was no one there. It was
and also, you're not at home, and this is the biggest rivalry match of the season.
Just
my guy, send it to the stands. Give it to us.
Yeah, it was a bad decision so early on.
Even if you give him a corner. I mean, just don't do that. Don't give him a free shot on goal. Look, at the end of the day.
Well, he wasn't like in the box or anything. He gave him a shot on goal though. No, but he gave up the ball in just a bad place when he could have easily made just like any other decision. It was just bad. So
look, it looked the entire match we were there. It looked like that looked like Red Bull fielded 25 players. They were red shirts everywhere.
There was such bad energy or whatever. Oh wait, you know what? You're talking
about the second goal.
I'm talking about the second goal. That was
the first goal was a parry.
Yeah. So but the first goal, the back heel from Villa was just clear. That's just not the right
back heel gate. I don't know what they went over.
Just start the game. Just get your legs under you. You know. And that's just like the thing that from just look when you give up a goal in the first 30 seconds of a game, you're already like, oh boy, what the hell's all this about, right? You're already it's a little deflating. And then the second goal off of that went off of Collins, that was the one that Chanel was responsible for.
Wow, we
I'm
can't
upset.
both mess up.
I'm just like I'm getting through all this stuff and trying to process everything. It's we're watching. Chanel was just so bad. So look. Those two goals, I'm like, it's just so unfortunate, just bad decisions. Red Bulls pounced on those NYCFC mistakes, and you understand why Chanel had to go.
And can I say something? The people that scored, Kaku, purchased, right, from Argentina, from
Huracan. Yeah.
You got what, Velo scored?
Florian Velo, who had an amazing game.
Who I believe Academy product.
Yes. Tyler Adams.
Tyler
he didn't
Adams
score, but he
was on the field and played incredible. Academy product.
Bodied the midfield.
I mean, it looked like everyone had taken a downer, and he was the only one who did blow. Bradley Ray Phillip with a brace, and then the last one was Derek Etienne Jr.
Bradley Ray Phillip's got one.
I thought he had a brace.
He got 2 assists.
2 assists. Sorry.
Yeah. It was 4 different goal scorers.
Derek Etienne Jr., also an Academy product. Prior to Patterson, New Jersey, Silk City, Fetty Wap, what's up? 1738. If I look at those 3 players that we mentioned, we talk about Velo, we talked about even, Bezecourt, some of the other players that have played well in the past, Derek Etienne Jr., and even if we throw in Tyler Adams. The thing they have all in common is not just they were Academy players, they played for Red Bull 2. Red Bull 2, which David Gass had mentioned on this podcast, they have been able to convert this seldomly used second team into not even, I mean, it was like the best training that you could possibly have for coming into their first team.
Yeah.
And they play the same style. And it's obviously, it's meaningful. Look at Ben Mines, who came in and scored. That's a kid from 2. All I'm trying to say is, what the hell is NYCFC waiting for?
No, look, NYCFC is a new club. They have not had the amount of time to set up an academy.
Oil money.
You
got oil money.
What is it? You think the players are going to develop in a year?
Look
2 years?
But look at James Sands. Look at Hack or Hawk, as they apparently it's pronounced. Yeah. Look at some of these players that we have that NYCFC has in their academy system.
But there's no NYCFC 2 to
That's
give
what I'm saying.
These players the time.
One.
Okay. But even still, Rebels, this didn't happen overnight. Tyler Adams has been a part.
So what you're saying is
it's like 7 years.
No, I think it took I would say it took a good 4 years for that system to kind of develop to the point where now it's like hold on a second. So the longer we wait, the longer we are 4 years behind.
I completely agree. I'm just saying that to expect that James Sands to play right now and be as good as a Tyler Adams is
he's good enough to get signed by the first team.
Yeah, but he's not as good as Tyler Adams, so he's not gonna get the
different player, different position. All I'm saying is, if there's players in the academy, whether it's Blaugashwi or Met Oval or any of these other ones, or Downtown United or Brooklyn Italians, regardless, Atlanta has an Atlanta United too.
And how many of their players? How many minutes have they gotten? And they've got
Carlton and the Robinson, and they're both there.
A few minutes.
They've been around. This is their second year, and they have a second team.
I agree. I'm not saying that
Minnesota United fields a 2-team in MLS every week.
I'm saying I agree with you that should happen. I'm just saying that the products themselves are, even if we did have
the product is there, they need somewhere to play. They need minutes.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm talking about this game specifically.
So start it already.
What is the academy? What is an academy going to do for this specific game right now? That's what I'm saying.
All I'm saying is, if I look at what they did better, Red Bull pressed better, played better, and they had better young players that don't count against their cap. We got players that play really well, and those areas where we're lacking, we could have academy products in there.
Yes, at some point.
And the longer we wait, the longer it's going to take for it to happen.
Completely agree. Irrelevant towards this specific game.
It doesn't even matter where you play. Play at Brooklyn Bridge Park,
James Sands and Justin Hawk are not doing anything that would not have changed the scoreline in this game.
I guarantee you James Sands would have played better than Chanel. I guarantee it.
Well, Sands can't really play center back in Major League Soccer.
Apparently neither can Chanel.
No, he's a center. He's like a defensive mid. He's not. He's too small. He's a little kid.
You don't know that.
He's a small guy. We met him. He's like what?
He is a very waif thin man.
He's thin. I mean, he's tall, but
he makes Christian look fat.
He has to grow into his body.
And where is Jonathan Lewis?
He's not. Oh, yeah, that is.
Burgett stinks.
That's a fair question. You know what? You are very critical of Joinga Burgett. I don't really.
What has he done?
He scored like what, 2 goals? He's a hold-up guy. He's not. I'm not saying he's the best player in the world, but I don't think he was the problem in this game. The problem in.
Hold on a second. So you have Joey Burgett and David Villa constantly swap spots, right? They're constantly swapping from left to center, right? Joey Burgett could barely play hold-up. When he does, he flicks it on incorrectly, maybe sends a pass incorrectly, gets mad at himself. What does he do? He's able to turn around, sometimes go at the defender, and sometimes he's a poacher.
I mean,
And that's anyone. That could be Rodney Wallace. And then when we need pace, you bring in Rodney Wallace.
Yeah.
Another one of the slow guys on the team.
But they replaced Villa for a while. Look, that
makes no sense.
Patrick Vieira did say after the game
that he wanted to sub everybody.
Yeah,
I wanted to sub him.
If he could have replaced all 10 players on the field, he would have. The entire team was bad.
Yes.
They just little to no heart, not much effort. They were losing. They were missing out on the any long pass. The players were not coming towards the ball. A Red Bull player would get there before them.
Because there was 2 or 3 cover. You've never played against the press? Really, guys?
Look,
did you practice? Did you know they were going to play the press? Let's see. Red Bull has not played any differently in the last 3 years. You weren't ready for that? And look, I understand that they do it very well. I can understand if it still catches you off guard or how fast-paced they are, how good they are at passing the ball in tight spaces.
They got beat, man.
Absolutely incredible.
Like, look, we can.
And by the way, remember when Red Bull fans didn't even want Jesse Marsh? Remember that? That was the beginning of the season.
We can talk about how bad NYCFC was, but Red Bull were very good. I mean, like they
deserve all the credit and all the plaudits. I don't know if you're supposed to say
they made no mistakes. They made even in the second half when NYCFC was pressing a lot and they went 3 at the back. There was a lot more energy there. Even still, they made no mistakes. NYCFC did not have really any great chance. Luis Robles didn't have to do much work. That's it. They were better.
He had 1 shot on goal.
They were better. They were so much better. Look,
NYCFC had 1.
Look, look, they got to sort some stuff out. The next match is July 8th. Hopefully.
Do you not think bringing Jonathan Lewis in for either Joe Inge-Brigette or let's just say for Joe Inge-Brigette, you don't think bringing him in the half would have made a much better difference than what was happening at that point? Just even
I think so. Yes, I agree with that.
Where is Jonathan Lewis? What the hell did he possibly do to you, Vieira?
Look, there's a lot of people to blame. Right, offensively, Jesus Medina. What's up with that wide open header that he hit over the bar?
He's being a real Boric Dokel.
Yeah, I think they went to the same academy.
Oh my God,
so there some issues.
Oh my God, never. Oh my God, oh my God.
So look,
OMG.
I know NYCFC fan. Hopefully, I don't know if we made you feel any better. Look,
if you're not angry still,
you should be a little angry. That's all.
You got to still be angry. NYCFC has to prove to its fans that this is not the team. This is not how you play.
Yeah.
This is not how they're going to play next week.
Let's talk about a couple things around the game because there was the T-shirt issue. Look, I'll talk about from my personal perspective. I was really upset with the throwing the T-shirts on the field. I think it's funny. I'm fine with it. Like whatever. It's not really harming anybody. It's annoying. For
the fans who don't know, Red Bull covered every seat except the away section with a red T-shirt.
Something red, but I forgot the exact saying on it.
Yeah, it kind of looked almost exactly like the Merci Arsen shirt that they wore for Arsene Wenger. By the way, congratulations, Arsene. Thank you for everything.
Wow, very different tone from.
Well, I mean, look, he's gone now. I mean, now I can look back at the whole thing. But while you were here, we were like, you're really fucking this whole thing up. You're being a real Boric Dokel right now. He said, OMG, oh my guy. So fans that were not able to get tickets in the away section, that were seated near the away section, started to pull those shirts up. There were also a lot of empty seats. So people started running around and grabbing more shirts and throwing them. And just like open shirt. Like, you ever throw a shirt, it kind of like catches some of the wind. It was harmless. It was actually very funny. No one got thrown out for it.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was funny. The fans underneath were like asking for even more of them.
Yeah, like taunting. And it was fun. There was like a bit of a scuffle that got stopped before it really started. So
and it was 2 Red Bull fans fighting each other, and an NYCFC fan stopped them.
Yeah,
so.
It was very weird. But an
NYCFC fan that works for Red Bull Arena. It was very confusing the way this whole thing worked out.
But the thing that bothered me was somebody threw a beer can and like I
thought 3 drinks were thrown, and that is appalling.
Somebody can act like there's like kids down there. You're gonna actually hurt a human being.
But one of the security guards, someone threw like an entire large soda, and it literally hit next to the security guard. She didn't see it. I mean, this lady. I mean, she can't be getting paid that much. She's not. She's just there to keep people safe.
Yeah,
and that could have hurt her. That could have hurt her really bad.
Yeah, so that was a part.
She doesn't deserve that. Stop throwing stuff. I know you guys get drunk sometimes, and that's all fans. That's not NYCFC specific.
Yeah,
that is completely just I don't even know the term. That's just don't ever do that. I mean, I don't understand.
It's a universal problem.
Yeah, and
right?
by the way, some fan from underneath threw a cup up a beer, and it actually hit a Red Bull fan, a girl, like a young girl.
Yeah. So like that kind of stuff, that kind of behavior has to chill. Like,
and an NYCFC player fan defended her. There was a lot of upside down going on.
Look, it was definitely handled the best I've seen. You know, there weren't any like huge fights like that have happened in the past. No. So there's clearly some improvement. It was you know, Cinco de Mayo. There was a nice tailgate, mariachi band. Free tequila.
Come on, Himador.
You get tequila out there. You're gonna have a couple things being thrown. So let's move on. Let's talk about a couple other of the games that.
Let's just go through this quickly.
So look,
I'm upset here.
Seattle. You know, our homies out in you know, Tropic Sounders, you know, and just you know, like the Emerald City supporters overall. Seattle's having a lot of problems. The Sounders, they draw this game 0-0 against Columbus, but Columbus lost their is he a designated player? I don't know if Pedro Santos is a DP, but they lost him. They lost him in the 15th minute after a boot to Alex Roldan's face, which for some reason he was debating that he maybe didn't deserve this red card.
Well, I can't understand why you're giving me this card. I just kicked that guy in the face.
He was reading the bottom of my heel.
Yeah, not fair.
Maybe it's him who attacked my cleats.
Yeah. You know what? Give his face a red card for hurting the bottom of my brand new shoes.
Look, so Columbus is down a man. You figure Seattle, they're going to get something out of this game, but they have to deal over an hour without, you know, with only 10 players, and they couldn't score. And not only could they not score, Columbus looked way better than Seattle did throughout this game. Surreal. I was so I'm like, look, I know
I love Berhalter, by the way. The way he has this team prepared to play.
Yeah, man.
Even when they're down to 10 men, they're exciting to watch.
They really are. And
it's a shame that what's happening in Columbus is happening, and also they have a very weak fan base. I mean, let's be honest.
Sure.
Because this is a team that people should be watching. If they put on Toronto jerseys, everyone would be excited.
Sure. The quality is there, man.
They are so good.
And how about that? There was that. Speaking of backheels, how about that amazing backheel from Higuain? There was just it was somewhere in like the 15th minute or something like that. So around the 20th minute, there was a backheel that sprung an attack that was so. I mean, like. Where you see like true beauty,
you couldn't, and I couldn't like, do that facing the direction.
It was so beautiful that I wanted to catcall this back heel.
Yeah,
all right,
like,
it was that
I'm
like, damn, yo,
I back heel.
All right, you're just gonna back heel all through the neighborhood. Like
what
that?
You gonna do with all that back heel?
Girl, you look good. You better back heel that ass
out. Use a nice fine woman. Won't you back heel that ass out?
It was unreal. So and look, and it sucks for Columbus that they couldn't score because they had amazing chances. Jazzy Zardes had a one-on-one with Stephen Fry that he just that it went wide. I thought for a second that the defender that knew who maybe threw him off a little bit. He put his hand on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And you know, just kind of disorientated him a little bit, but. It was a game that Columbus probably should have won, and Zardes had that after that cross, the chest left it. He didn't. None of it touched the ground. Passed it to Valenzuela, and Valenzuela hits it over the bar.
This game boils down to Columbus played with 10. Seattle played with 11. Columbus played better, deserved 3 points. Congratulations to Seattle for at least securing a point. The fans aren't happy. The coach doesn't look happy.
Yeah.
Although I kind of blame him. And the players. The players are not happy. In particular, Will Bruin, who has kind of become the heart of this team.
Yeah.
His post-game conference was he was just like 1 or 2 levels of gully below
ring.
Below ring. Yeah.
It was a very a huggable bear.
Yeah, he was frustrated as hell.
Frustrated, but
and he said one thing and he stopped himself short. He's like, I hope this week we look at tape to figure out how to score goals instead of and he stopped.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right.
So this
I'm not going to be playing.
shit that we're putting out up there.
Except for God knows what the hell we're watching out here. Look, they're upset. I don't know what solves this. I know people are blaming like Fernando Torres for showing up out of shape. People are blaming, Ozzy Alonso for being out. Now he's coming back, and how long that's taking.
But a lot of injuries overall.
Ladero and Dempsey. Dempsey, look, I hate to be this person. I've done this. You all get mad at me. Tropic Sounders, Kale, I'm sorry. Yo, Dempsey, if he was the guy when I said he wasn't the guy, he's how old now? And he's showing you he's not that guy anymore. When he was younger, when he first came into the league, it was electric. Yeah. Something has to be done.
But when it comes to nut taps, Dempsey's your guy.
Oh, my God. If I want a notebook ripped up, I go to Dempsey.
Look, another team, just hopefully they sort that out because it's difficult watching the Sounders be bad.
Yeah.
I'm not used to it.
They're such a great fan base. They deserve better than this.
Totally.
And this is a team that went to MLS Cup 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Is this maybe just past due? You smell the milk and you're like, I don't think I should.
No, but I'll have it anyway.
Yeah,
okay.
glug, 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 glug. I'm drinking from the jug. Oh, my stomach, I got shit. I don't need the squatty potty.
All right, a couple real quick. Chicago hosted Atlanta United. I thought this game was going to be, this is like just a 5-0 game. But Atlanta wins this game 2-1.
Chicago, and it was close.
It was close. They were trying. There was an amazing goal from Kevin Ellis where they got the first goal, that they brought it down to 2-1. But overall, Atlanta just too dominant. There's not much you're really going to do. Schweinsteiger can try anything he can, try his best. But the real issue with Fire, I mean, they look, compared to Atlanta, they just look unathletic. They just look like they can't keep up. I thought Dax McCarty had a really poor game.
Dax has those moments every once in a while, but look how well they played while he had a bad game. And it's very clear that they're missing someone like an Icom.
Yeah. That's really all they need, like an athlete out there. They just make it.
They just needed someone with a little bit of pace to put pressure on that back line because people are collapsing in on them a little bit.
And Katai he's a good player, he's a good scorer, but he's not like he makes too many mistakes. He's not too reliable.
No.
And I think he's a big part of the problem of why they're really not scoring much. But occasionally he scores like some bangers, and you're like, all right,
I keep him out there. Yeah. But even someone like Nico, Nikolic needs someone around him.
He needs service.
Yeah, he needs someone around him, drag some of the defenders a little bit away, and he needs someone to send those balls in. And clearly, look how well he
scored. What, 21 goes, 24 goals last season?
I mean, come on.
I mean, that's Alexis.
Don't do this to my man.
This is another one where I had another issue, and I've had this issue throughout the season watching Chicago Fire games, especially now. They were like part of ESPN Plus, and but they have the same announcers that they always had. But I think the guy's name is Dan Kelly. I could be wrong, but this is the commentator, not the color, not the regular analyst, not the color commentator. He, for whatever reason, I honestly believe he does not know the Chicago Fire players' names. Like, he gets them wrong
all the time.
Pulls
an Alexis.
He says the wrong name. He says the name wrong. Like, he'll say what the player that scored is, and it's not that person who scored. So just
another one by Arcon. You're like, it's not even on the team anymore, guy.
So part of me doesn't want to make fun of it because I'm like, maybe I don't know, maybe he's going through something or whatever. But it's weird.
I mean, you're doing your job badly. I mean,
it's an important part of the job to know the players' names. But
I would almost say it's essential.
But he goes, when Barco scores, he scores the first goal of the game. He says, and it's on the highlight on MLSsoccer.com. He goes, goal by Gonzalo Pizez.
Yeah.
So, and but he does it throughout a lot of the players, Fire players, the visiting team.
And then he said something else, and then he was like, Gonzalo Perez. He messed it up again, in a different way. It was the whole thing was all over. It was upside down.
Really strange. Hopefully they sort that out. I don't know if DJ Steph could just be like, yo, the Cooligans are talking about you.
Come on, man.
Cooligans talking about you. So look, funny, but Chicago has to figure I feel like they're closer than Philly when it comes to sorting their issues out. But offensively, they got a lot of problems. And then finally, let's talk real quick. Houston hosting LA Galaxy, sellout out there at BBVA Campus Stadium. And when this is the trend, wherever Zlatan goes, it's a full, you're gonna have a full house. So this game ended 3-2. This was another really good game.
Yeah.
But LA Galaxy, again, it's just they can't defend. I mean, it's like you can have all the offensive firepower in the world, but you guys they just can't. They make so many mistakes.
Zlatan's like, if you want me to make changes, I will be making the changes. I don't know. I know that's more.
That's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. But I can't do a Zlatan impression. But he's had it over in San Jose. Also, Jungwirth was like, this is not men's football. This is children's football.
Well, I love these foreigners telling us, a
little bit much. But you know what? If you play in the league, you kind of can have that opinion, especially when you're losing.
Of course.
Just don't go on Soccer AM and do it. How about that?
A little different.
But LA Galaxy. Houston.
The only real controversial thing I think in this one was the sort of battle between Zlatan and Ramel Kyoto. They were having little back and forth, and there was a questionable.
Kyoto don't give a damn about how big you are. He don't give a damn about how popular your shoes are.
They were fighting during a set piece, and Kyoto who's clearly like about a foot shorter.
Yeah.
And Zlatan was nuzzling his head in Zlatan's armpit.
Little CCL dark arts.
And Hondurans, they know what they do.
Hondurans like, look, we're gonna win this one way or another.
But Zlatan. And some people were suggesting that he should have gotten a red card for this, but they were suggesting that he swung his arm and elbowed Kyoto like under the neck on the back.
Yeah.
And it looked.
And even if not, Kyoto made it look like it hurt.
But it did look like it actually.
No,
hurt.
It did. But even if it didn't,
he caught him.
Kyoto selling him like, I got him to do it.
Yeah, but he wasn't given a card. He wasn't given anything. Video review didn't even look at it.
It's part of his contract. Can't get a red.
Yeah. So it was another just disappointing loss. The LA Galaxy, again. I'm like you. I have to feel bad a little bit just because Zlatan, you just for the league itself, like the more successful they are, we sort of like everything sort of looks better, right?
Yeah.
Even globally. But Zlatan, they did ask him. I think before this game, there was an interview where he was comparing MLS and Premier League, which is kind of just a silly question.
He said like the pace. Everyone can pass the ball, but how fast can you pass the ball?
The quality. It started. It's a 2-minute little scrum. In the video, but the first minute he's just like the quality is poor. Like he's not. I'm exaggerating, but he's just like it's not the quality. The Premier League is very special. And then in the second minute he's like, well, also the weather is very different here.
Yeah, it's very hot. It's a lot of travel.
There's a lot of different.
He gives you a lot of reasons.
But
I don't want to play in Houston.
But he did. It was like a cordial.
Yeah.
I'm not shitting on the league.
Positive critique.
But I'm also trying to let my teammates know that they ain't shit. You know, they gotta step it up a little bit.
So a lot of fun games this week. Not the ones we went to.
Yeah, the couple. I mean, some of the other just
look up the
Orlando
the
1-3-1. They were
6 in a row. Good for them.
Yeah, they were. I watched this game and Orlando's. Yeah, they disappoint their fans early and then they find a way to win. So that's been the strategy.
Real Jason Christ
for Jason Christ. Portland won 1-0 against San Jose off of that amazing free kick from Diego Valeri. But other than that, they didn't really do too much. Sporting KC wins 1-0. Another opportunity for Kyrie Shelton to score a goal, and he does not.
Nope.
So keeping that streak alive, homie.
Yep.
So that's it. That was all the games. Hopefully, you enjoyed yourself, and hopefully we made you feel a little bit better about
leave a 5-star review
about what your team went through.
Leave us a nice 5-star review. Say something nice. It really helps.
Yeah.
And like we said, we'll read it. And how about this? Let us know who introduced you to this podcast. And we'll thank them on the show. So, maybe send us a little note or tweet at us to tag whoever it was that introduced you to the podcast, and we'll mention their name and your name on the show. How about that?
Do it.
Because our numbers have jumped up quite a bit, and we want to thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
So, thank you for listening and sharing.
Yeah, also, I'm going to do this soon because there's a lot of new listeners, but I want to have like a Cooligan starter kit, like a starter guide.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of stuff that we've done in the past. You know, like the
watch this, listen to this,
Fruit Bowl, some memorable interviews. So so expect that soon on our website, soccercooligans.com, and there'll be a nice little gathering,
little intro.
Yeah, to like, hey, because a lot of stuff we've done. So some people are new to it, so they don't even know like the Cooligans backstory.
Come on now.
There's a lot of fun stuff that's happened.
Well,
so
thank you so much for listening.
Thank you again. My name is Christian Polanco.
My name is Alexis Guerreros. And together, what are we?
The Cooligans!